What is up, everyone? Crunchy Frog here, and tomorrow marks the release of Season 1 Reloaded, the mid-season update here for Call of Duty Black Ops 6, and there is a lot of content coming. So today, I wanted to put out a video where basically I go through the blog post that Call of Duty made and pull out all of the important bits of information for both multiplayer and for zombies, and let you know everything that is coming in the mid-season update tomorrow. Now, as is the case with all of these, I will be linking the blog post down below in the description so you guys can kind of check it out and read through everything at your own pace. I'll be skipping over a lot of stuff, and you won't see every picture and graphic and stuff that they have in there. So if you would like a more fully fledged view of everything coming, make sure to go ahead and check that out over there and read that at your own pace. I also will not be covering anything for ranked play or Warzone, since I really don't cover those things here on the channel and I really don't partake in them myself. So again, this will just be multiplayer and zombies. So as always, guys, if you enjoy content like this, make sure to leave a like. It helps my channel immensely, as it helps others find the channel and helps the channel grow. And if you'd like to see more content like this in the future, including Black Ops news, gaming discussions, video essays, stuff like that, make sure to hit the subscribe button. And if you would like to help the channel monetarily, make sure to hit the join button, and you get exclusive perks like a badge and emotes down in the comment section, as well as every video up to a day early. So with that all out of the way, we'll jump right into it. There's a bunch of content coming here for the mid-season update. So a lot of this will sound very, very familiar, as I have covered it at least partially in my original Season 1 blog post video, but we'll recap it all here today. And we're going to start off first with the maps that are coming here with the Reloaded update, and first of which is Hacienda, which is a remake or remaster of the Black Ops 4 map of the same name. Everything seems pretty identical to it. Obviously, they might shift some things around with the new movement mechanics, but other than that, it seems to be a faithful recreation of that map. We are also getting Racket, which is an entirely new map, but it is a strike map, so it's one of the small 2v2 maps that they also put 6v6 on occasionally. So think a shipment, type map, stuff like that, very fast-paced and quick, and that is set in a bank vault. And then finally, we have Nuketown Holiday, which is just a Christmas-themed version of Nuketown. As you guys know, throughout the years, we've always gotten a holiday-themed variant of one of the small maps, usually Shipment or Nuketown or something like that, for some fun holiday playlists there around the Christmas holiday break when everyone's playing a bit more. So that's super cool to see. And that about wraps it up for the maps. Nothing too crazy, but again, if you enjoyed Hacienda back in Black Ops 4, you'll love it now. And then we got a couple new maps to play as well. And next up, we have the limited time modes, which are specialty game modes that come to the game for usually, as the name implies, a limited time, usually a week or two at a time during playlist updates. And first of all, we have Ransack, which is a holiday version of the Ransack playlist with buffs associated with depositing the materials, which this time are called cookies. Again, just kind of a holiday themed version of Ransack. We have Infectious Holiday, which they don't give a whole lot of information on, but just from context clues that I can kind of tell, it seems like Infection, but with like holiday themed, and all the zombies wear like holiday clothes and stuff. I'm not too sure. Again, not too many details there, but I'm sure they'll release a little more info as that mode becomes available. There's also plenty of piles of snow around the map. I think this is just on Nuketown. I'm not sure if it'll appear on any of the other maps, but you can actually pick up those snowballs and throw them at other players. And this is just a limited time thing being added to the map. And then finally, it does tease in a different part of the blog post, which was kind of weird, but it does tease that a Squid Game kind of crossover event will be coming sometime soon, presumably before Season 2, as kind of a tie-in with the Netflix show. So I think it's said that there will be a limited time mode associated with that as well. Next up, they detail all of the new Loadout content, which includes a new perk, which is called Shrapnel Radar. And this is kind of a perk that we've had in previous games, but basically damaging enemies with explosives or tacticals or your field upgrades will mark them on the minimap. And they also are including a new wildcard, which we talked about in my Season 1 blog post video, called High Roller. And this is super cool. I'm definitely going to equip this on a few of my classes. And this is where you can carry a 4th kill streak. So you can actually equip an additional kill streak to the normal 3 to give you a little more firepower there. Now, as always, there are also new weapons coming with this update, the first of which is called the Maelstrom, which is a bullpup automatic shotgun. And it is available as an event reward via the Merry Mayhem, which we will talk about in a bit. They're also giving us a new sniper rifle, the AMR Mod 4, which is essentially just the Barrett 50 cal. It's a semi-auto sniper. Again, it's the same type of, Barrett 50 cal archetype weapon that we've seen in a dozen Call of Duty games at this point, so you know what to expect there. And this is an event reward as well through the Archie's Festival Frenzy event. Again, we'll talk more about that here a little bit later. Finally, we have the Meat Cleaver, which is a melee weapon, and it says it's an event reward, but doesn't give specific details, so I'm not sure which event it'll become available, but if melee weapons are your thing, you will be getting another one of those. And as a little side note here, as always, if you're going for that mastery camo, these are 3 new weapons that you could potentially get the mastery camo on that maybe pushes out some of the weapons that you didn't want to work towards. So you only need 33 diamond camos to work towards the dark spine to then work towards dark matter. So that's any combination of 33 weapons. I think before this update, there's 37. This will make 40. So that means there's 7 weapons in the game that aren't needed, and you can kind of pick and choose there as you please, and maybe avoid some of those challenges you're really not looking forward to. Myself, I'm not doing the launchers and hopefully won't be doing the melee weapons either by the time I get there. So, just avoiding stuff that you don't want to do. Really like that system. Just wanted to add that as a footnote there. Every time we add a new weapon, that's one other weapon that you don't have to worry about if you don't want to. Next up, they talk about the new attachments. Basically, 2 new of the same exact attachment, just for different guns. There's a 3-round burst attachment for the XM4, which basically kind of turns it into an M16, available during Merry Mayhem, and a 3-round burst attachment for the compact SMG, and that's available during Archie's Frenzy. And so yeah, just 2 new attachments, both 3-round burst capability, changing them from fully auto. Next up are the general events that we've been alluding to throughout this video, and the first is Gobblegum Mania, which will take place from basically tomorrow, December 5th, for 2 weeks until December 19th. Basically, it revolves around you consuming gobblegum while playing zombies, and you get various rewards. I'm not going to go into details and exhaustive, explanation of how this event works. Essentially, it boils down to use a bunch of gobblegum, get a lot of cool rewards, and earn some new gobblegum in the process. Next up is Merry Mayhem, which we've mentioned a couple times up above, and again, same time frame, the 5th through the 19th of December. It's across all modes, Warzone, zombies, and multiplayer. Basically sounds like you're just earning XP, which then unlocks reward tiers, kind of like a mini battle pass, so to speak, and you get, as you heard above, a couple weapons, couple attachments, stuff like that. Next up, and this kind of follows those first 2 events, so it starts when the other 2 end on December 19th and goes the whole way until January 3rd, and it is called Archie's Festival Frenzy, and basically you collect Jolly Archies, they call them, which sound like kind of candies or something, through eliminations or opening supply caches in Warzone, and you use these little candies to open presents, kind of like loot boxes almost, it sounds like, and then once you open and get all 12 rewards, you do get the AMR, or the Barrett 50 cal, essentially, as kind of the capstone reward for that. And again, as a small footnote, if you do not participate in some of these events and you miss out on one of the attachments or one of the guns, they have confirmed that these weapons and attachments and everything, once the events are over, will make their way into the armory, where you can just basically use XP to work your way towards unlocking them manually that way. So if you have the time to play it, great. If not, you can always get this stuff later as well. Although I'm assuming some of the cosmetic stuff, calling cards, stuff like that, will not be made available later and is just kind of a, hey, I was here, I did this type of reward. Next up, one thing that I wanted to mention with all of this before we get into zombies, and this is kind of a thing that I was thinking about doing a mini video in and of itself, but they did announce a new Black Cell loyalty bonus, which essentially means the more seasons that you buy Black Cell, you get additional bonus XP, stacking the whole way up to 50% additional XP if you buy all 6 seasons of Black Cell, which is, I think, $180 total dollars, which is kind of insane amount of investment, but you do get 50 more XP. One thing to note, though, if you did get the Black Cell Pass with Season 1, like I and anyone else who bought the Vault Edition did, it doesn't give you any XP. You have to start buying with Season 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and so on. So yeah, they kind of screw us over with that. I'm not too mad about it. By the time Season 6 rolls around and they're getting this 50% XP, it's not really going to matter. The game's going to be on life support then anyways. We're going to be looking forward to COD 2025. And I mean, these people that have the Black Cell Pass, if they're that dedicated, they're paying $30 per season. They're probably going to be Master Prestige within the first season or two, let's be honest. So the XP really isn't going to matter to them. So I don't think it's a huge deal, but a lot of people are really, really mad on social media about it. So I figured I'd mention it here in the video. Then next up, kind of finishing out with multiplayer and moving on to zombies. And I know a lot of you are super excited. If you're like me, we are getting a brand new map, Citadelle des Morts, which, as you know, castle on the Avalon map, takes place in Avalon. And yeah, it looks super awesome, giving a lot of Der Eisendrache vibes. And we'll kind of break down everything new coming this season with zombies to the Citadelle des Morts map. So to start off with operators, there's no new cast or crew, right? It's basically the same 4 operators you played with last time. Obviously, you can use any operator, but if you want the cool story quotes, everything like that, you got to use one of the main 4 with Weaver and Maya and all of them. And then there's a couple more side characters that are going to be talking to you throughout to advance the story. Now, they do talk at length about all the details about the map. Again, check out the link in the description to check out the blog post for yourself. I'm not going to sit here and rattle off zombie lore and map lore to you guys for 35 minutes. So if you want more information about the map and little bits of lore and origin stories and stuff like that, head on over to the blog post. Now, there is a new enemy, a new special zombie coming called the Doppelgast, and it seems to be a quick predator-like zombie. The way they describe it, it kind of sounds like a velociraptor almost, or, something like that, something akin to that. Again, they give, a better description and stuff like that in the blog post, but that's kind of what it sounds like. And they say that it attacks with a melee and then mention a spike attack that claims to cause hallucinations. So I'm not sure if that's an actual gameplay mechanic or just, lore. So I'm not sure if they hit you with that attack, if it starts distorting your vision or making weird things happen. So we'll just have to see once we get into it, but it definitely sounds like it has a special second attack, much like most of the special zombies do. The amalgam pulls you in, the mangler has the cannon, stuff like that. There are also new wonder weapons. Now, they teased this ahead of time saying wonder weapons with an S, it's plural. Really what they meant was there are 4 elemental swords. And, just like the elemental staves and bows in previous maps, kind of follows the same general, sense. Each has a unique special attack and also a passive effect that is powered up over time. Again, not sure what they mean by that. We'll have to see as we play, but sounds very cool. There's also a defensive parry mode, it sounds like, that you can block different things and projectiles and stuff. And it's all forged from a base sword. So it sounds like you go about, some steps in the Easter egg, obtain the sword. It's called the Bastard Sword. And then it sounds like you might be able to branch off and upgrade it into the elemental swords. If it's anything like previous maps, that'll be part of the Easter egg quest, doing little mini quests here and there, and missions to, make the staff or the sword a lightning sword, or, stuff like that. So I expect this to be heavily weaved into its own little Easter egg quest, as well as the overarching main quest for the map as well. Now, that brings us to the next bullet point here, which is the new quest will be available on launch day. So whenever the game first came out, I think the quests weren't available for a few days or something like that, just to give everyone equal footing. But now these are, as of tomorrow, the quest will be live. So there's probably going to be live streamers already getting guides ready for you guys tomorrow, maybe even as early as soon as this video is uploaded. So it will be available day 1. And obviously, again, there will be rewards for completing it yourself before they add that guided mode. I assume they'll add guided mode either with Season 2 or Season 2 Reloaded here in a few months. Now, some things that they're adding on this map, some new things to zombies. There is the oil trap, which, if you've heard stories of medieval castles, right, they used to dump the buckets of burning oil down on invading armies as they were, piling up at the walls. And it sounds kind of like that works identical to that. So kind of cool that they incorporated that. It's just a new trap, nothing too crazy. There's also the lion cannon, which they mention and show in the trailer as a means to breach the castle. Again, sure, it's tied to the quest, how you move throughout the map, stuff like that. Also, they kind of make it sound like a trap, so not sure if you can activate that again to act as a trap for zombies. But then it does mention that you can crawl in it and be fired out of it, so I don't know what that means. Maybe that's just a quick traversal mechanic. Who knows? We'll have to see once the map comes out tomorrow. They also mentioned that there's loot crates around the map. I'm assuming that just, fun things to find to give you a nice bonus, maybe some ammo or a power-up, stuff like that. There's also new challenges and calling cards associated with the map. And now they kind of started dissecting all of the new content that they are bringing to zombies as a whole. So this is obviously brought to this map, but it'll be available everywhere. And the first is the new perk, which is Vulture Aid, which is returning, I believe, from Black Ops 2, where it was on, and correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, I believe it showed up on the Wild West map, Buried. I could be wrong on that, but essentially it makes additional drops drop from zombies, including like little vials of essence or points and ammo drops, stuff like that. There are obviously augments available, which they go into at length. I won't here. And it will be available on the map just from a vending machine, but then in Terminus and Liberty Falls through the Wonder Fizz machine. There's also a new ammo mod called Light Mend, and it basically deals a new element, light damage, which one of the swords is like that light element as well, so a new thing they're adding. And it basically they describe it as having a small chance to transform a normal or special enemy's health into a healing glyph that then moves to nearby injured allies. So I'm assuming whenever it procs, like any of the other ammo mod procs, it just heals a nearby ally or yourself. And again, this is also available on all the maps starting tomorrow via the Arsenal machine. So it'll just be another little option there on the first menu at the Arsenal machine. Next up, there's a new field upgrade coming called the Tesla Storm. I believe this is returning from Cold War, and basically for 10 seconds, lightning connects to you and other players, stunning and damaging normal enemies, and creates like a little chain of lightning. Super cool. Again, I think this is returning from Cold War, so if you played it there, you'll know how this works. They're also adding some new gobblegums, 3 new gobblegums as a matter of fact. There's Powder Keg, which is unlocked via the Gobblegum Mania event and spawns a full power-up, so it charges up your field upgrade. There's the Time Out Gobblegum, which sounds absolutely incredible and is unlocked via the Gobblegum Mania event as well. But basically, it clears out all normal and special enemies, so not bosses, and ends the round. However, for the next 3 minutes, no zombies spawn. So it does advance the round one. That's kind of a downside to it. But it gets rid of all the zombies and keeps them away for 3 minutes. So you can do stuff like running around buying everything you need, getting ready for a boss fight. Maybe you can use it in a boss fight so that you only have to focus on the boss and not ads for 3 minutes. You can get stuff done for the Easter egg step. You can, if there's something on the walls, a lot of these Easter eggs, you have to like read something and translate it or use a cipher, stuff like that. You have to do math. Instead of just having someone train, one zombie that's left at the end of the round, you can use this gobblegum and you get 3 minutes to kind of just breathe and do your own thing without zombies being there. So super cool, super useful. It is a very rare tier of gobblegum, but I think this may be one of the best gobblegums to come to zombies, especially for Easter egg hunters, possibly of all time. So very excited for that. And then they've also added a whimsical gobblegum called Holiday Cheer. Basically, all the zombies just have festive decorations. Now, the next thing they talk about is an event exclusive to zombies, which is called Jingle Hells. And this is apparently brought back from Cold War, something they did back then. Basically, they just Christmasified the Liberty Falls map with decorations and snow and stuff like that. And it takes away all of the arsenal machines, crafting benches, and mystery boxes. So it makes it a little bit harder, it sounds like. The main quest is active, but obviously a lot harder. You can't do any of the above. Your guns can't be upgraded to orange. So that's going to be a little bit rough. I guess you have to rely on wall buys. There's new audio and new, ambiance things around the map. You can pick up the snowballs, like we were talking about multiplayer, and use them as powerful projectiles. There's also a naughty or nice power up, which is kind of a toss up between giving you a gift or a zombie spawn. Sounds like, digging up, loot bubbles on the ground or whatever that is either a buff or spawns a zombie or a grenade or something. And there's also snowmen that you can shoot, which may spawn a zombie or give you loot as well. So same exact concept as digging up stuff with a shovel or that naughty or nice power up. Prizes now also appear near the SAM trials when they appear. They call them the SAMTA trials, and I think it slightly modifies how those work as well. And then, and this is the coolest part of this event, some rounds it freezes you, slowing your reactions considerably. I think it visually impairs you as well. And you need to go indoors to kind of thaw out. So it kind of forces you inside, especially on Liberty Falls, which is a very outside map, right? You're running around the town, forces you into those tighter spaces indoors to kind of fight zombies there. Super cool mechanic. I kind of hope that they add something like this in future maps we have. If there's like a super cold map, in Siberia or something. So super cool to see them add that here. Now, there's also some other changes, and a lot of people have been talking about this on social media, just some updates and fixes or buffs and nerfs in zombies that I feel need talked about on this video, since a lot of you will be very happy to hear these, and that is reducing the number of mangler spawns at mid to high rounds, which is huge. Obviously, lots of memes about how many manglers spawn nowadays. They're also implementing a maximum cap on active manglers in the game, ramping up until the cap is released at round 100. So after round 100, that cap goes away, and there can be, infinite manglers in the game at one time. They've reduced the mangler arm cannon health, so you can shoot it off easier, which makes killing them a little bit easier. They've also significantly reduced the length of special rounds by reducing the number of spawns and adjusting the spawn delay for special rounds. So vermin and parasite rounds are going to be a lot quicker, it sounds like, which is awesome. Some of those take a long time, especially at higher rounds. They are scaling the parasite damage between rounds 31 and 91. Not sure if that means making them more lethal or less lethal. It doesn't really say, but they are tuning that. And then they're also increasing damage scaling for base zombies from around 150 to 400, which, if you've made it that far, God bless you. I'm not sure too many people out there could really relate to that final point, but that about wraps it up, guys, for all of the stuff coming with the Season 1 Reloaded updates. Lots of cool stuff coming to multiplayer, and then obviously a brand new map, which I'm super excited for zombies. I love these round-based experience. I love them getting kind of back to their roots, or at least back to Cold War status after a few years of just abysmal zombie offerings, or no zombie offerings in the case of Modern Warfare 2. So I'm really looking forward to this update. I will be possibly streaming tomorrow the Season 1 Reloaded content, including the new zombie maps. So if you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed so you can see when I go live here on YouTube. And shameless plug, I also go live at least once a week over on Twitch. The link will be in the description as well. So if you've enjoyed this content, make sure to leave a like so that others can find this channel. And as always, guys, until the next time, you all have a great day.